Good morning, Professor David Syiemlieh, Honorable former Chairman UPSC New Delhi, Shri Mahbubul Haq Sir, Honorable Chancellor USTM, faculty members, students, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of University of Science and Technology Meghalaya and ERD Foundation, we would like to welcome all to the orientation program of the newly admitted batch of BA Administration and Governance. Before we begin, I would like to request all the students and the participants to kindly mute their audio or their microphones so that, there's no disturbance. Sir, I think David Syiemlieh sir, our Honorable Chancellor Mahbubul Haq sir believe that for a developed nation, especially a developed Northeast, adequate proportion of representation in the policy making from the region. For this, with this thought, he conceptualized this unique initiative to educate the students in a particular subject, and on the other hand, training them in various need-based allied subjects of knowledge so as to make them competent and in ready state to face UPSC and other competitive examination just after completing their graduation. This program will not only help the students in saving their time and money, but also make them up to date with the knowledge required for cracking civil service examination during their regular course of study without any additional preparation or spending extra time. Dear students, we are indeed honored, and the newly students are really privileged to have the former chairman of the highest body of India who conducts the prestigious IAS IPS examination, Professor David Syiemlieh sir. Before I hand over the session to him, I would just like to add that Professor David Syiemlieh sir is a gold medalist in MA History and an MPhil and PhD from NEHU. Professor David Syiemlieh sir was awarded JJM Nichols Roy Award and he's a senior Fulbright Fellow, Charles Wallace grantee, and a research on an Indian-France cultural exchange grant. Sir first taught in St. Edmund's College, Shillong, and before joining the Department of History, NEHU, he held numerous positions in the university, including Dean of Students' Welfare, Controller of Examination, Registrar, Pro-Vice Chancellor. Professor David Syiemlieh sir was appointed as the Vice Chancellor of Rajiv Gandhi University, Arunachal Pradesh. And in 2012, he was appointed the member of the UPSC by the President of India. Then later in 2017, the President of India has appointed Professor Syiemlieh sir as the Honorable Chairman of the UPSC or Union Public Service Commission of India. Professor Syiemlieh sir is an author and editor of several books, especially books on Northeast India, and he was also the president of Northeast India History Association and Indian History Congress, to name some. Since his retirement as a professor and chairman UPSC, Professor Syiemlieh sir has continued to lecture on history of the Northeast at several universities and mentor scholars researching on the region. And we are also, the University of Science and Technology Meghalaya is also indeed honored and privileged to have sir mentoring us in our various initiatives, and we always look forward to hearing from you, sir, and to receive you in our university. And today our students are really indeed privileged to have you with us, and they seek their blessings actually in their future endeavors. Sir, without much ado, I would like to request you to kindly inaugurate this session.
Thank you, Ms. Rahman, for the introduction and the kind words you have said of me. I thank Dr. Haq too. Am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Haq, Chancellor, USTM, for inviting me to address students in the orientation program of the BA Administration and Governance. In this age of the internet and virtual meetings and admission process, many of you young students would not have been able to see your university. Though your classes will commence with this orientation program, I trust you will have the time to feel the university campus, reside at USTM, and benefit from classroom lectures. There is no alternative to classroom lectures. And personally interact with teachers and colleagues. Meanwhile, stay focused in your occupation as students and remain safe. At Baridwar, on the Assam-Meghalaya border, is located the University of Science and Technology. It was established in 2008 by a legislation of the state of Meghalaya. It is the first state private university of science and technology in the Northeast. And over the few years of its existence, it's been in existence for 12 years. Since its establishment, the university has emerged as one of the preferred institutions of higher education, with student enrollments covering the entire region. I was just looking at the pictures of the young students who were interacting in this visual presentation, and I find that they come from across the region. This is a very heartwarming development of the University of Science and Technology. I am impressed with this program of studies, infrastructure, and facility. Also, the faculty has many of whom have their PhDs and experience from other universities coming to the University of Science and Technology. I recall my visits to USTM, where I have addressed students on the UPSC. It was a very well-packed meeting that I had in the main office, and I hope it had some influence on those who were preparing the examination. I've also had the privilege of being conferred an honorary degree by the university in 2019. I've attended several meetings, and I look forward to continued connection with this fine university. Necessarily, the new norm is social distancing, which makes it somewhat difficult for you young and energetic students to attend classes in the university. However, look at the positive side of things, that rather than closure of universities and institutions of higher education, there has come in place online instruction. Take advantage of this new form of instruction and evaluation. Do keep yourselves fit and alert, and read, and read more. Build up your own libraries of books and journals and material online, for there is nothing better in education than acquiring knowledge through reading. Next, write. Practice your writing skills more than you do presently. In this age and day, the use of the pen has become pretty obsolete for many, and it starts with school age now. In the university, there is less use, and in research, there is even less use of the pen. Have you imagined the consequences should we lose the art of writing in its many forms? I am frightful of what possibly could be the result of the pen becoming obsolete. I've gone through one page of my discussion. Was it audible enough?
Yes, sir.
And,
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. And are the students following my lecture, please?
You think so, sir?
Yes,
Because
sir.
everybody is there. Yes, sir.
Right. If you can, just wave out your hands and make a connect with me as if I'm in a classroom. Right. There's only 2 or 3. I can see there are some 65. Yes, I can see Karbangar. Where are you from, Karbangar?
Sir, I'm from Shillong.
Oh, you're from Shillong. I hope we can meet someday in Shillong. Now,
Sir, I would love to.
Yes, you can come up to my place and see my library. Well, let me go to the next part. I have never attempted a civil service examination, but it does not mean that I do not have an interest in encouraging you to become civil servants. When I completed my graduation way back in 1974, my mother urged me to apply for the State Bank of India examination, the probationary officer examination, which I applied for and I sat. only to make myself not pass because I wanted to be a teacher and not a state bank officer. But my brother did pass and became a successful banker in Shillong and around the region. It is not just to discourage you that I have said this little anecdote of mine. It is encouraging to note that the University of Science and Technology has programs for the arts and humanities. It was always a worry for me that universities of science and technology are so focused on their own subjects, they forget the human touch, the arts, the sciences, the languages. Many universities, including the IITs, are today providing instruction and research on subjects such as the program you have been admitted to. Your course, however, is designed for your place in a profession as administrators for good governance. You are a very lucky group in the sense that when you graduate, you would already be mentored and qualified to apply for and to appear for examinations in the various civil service examinations. While you will be provided the instruction to become graduates in administration and governance, one among the first of such programs anywhere in the country, and USTM has done marvelous in framing this syllabus, there will be a requirement to fulfill other courses in compliance with the regulations of the University Act relating to instruction and study for a degree. So your subjects in governance will only be one part because you are going to be graduates and BA, you'll be qualified for the BA. You have to do other subjects like the language paper, like English and some other papers. Ms. Raman, please note that in this age of visual communication with the students, the university has to amend its regulations and ordinances to incorporate online courses and evaluation. I hope this has been communicated well enough to the university because several universities are doing online courses without the necessary changes in their statutes and regulations. While many of your peers in the arts and humanities will qualify as graduates, you in the second class of the program will be receiving training, mentorship, and instruction to prepare, apply for, and compete in the state and central services. Have both the hope and will that you will be successful in your preparedness and in the examination and interviews. There is a long process of wait from the time an advertisement comes out to the time that the results are announced, and then the joining up in a post may take anything between a year or 2 years. So have the hope and the will that you will be successful and the patience too. I trust that a large number of you will excel both in the programs and in the application for and entry into the services. But why will you join the service? It should not be for power. It will not be for having a red light on your car. Know the salary and the perks that you should aspire for in serving the nation and the state. It is service above self. It is dedication above anything else. Follow the role of any number of fine men and women who have dedicated their lives for service, and you will be inspired. And as an inspiration, I recommend to you the book of Nari Rustomji. Nari Rustomji was an ICS officer. The ICS was the precursor of the IAS, and Nari Rustomji joined the ICS while in England in 1942. He had a very distinguished career, a marvelous human being, a violinist, not a singer, but a violinist. Eventually, and before his retirement, he was the first Chief Secretary of Meghalaya. He wrote a book, Enchanted Frontiers. And I would recommend you have a copy of Enchanted Frontiers, both in your library and if you can get it online. It gives a fine account of his entry into the ICS, his career in Sikkim, his connection with Bhutan, and the service he had in Sylhet and in Assam and Meghalaya over the many years of his service. So I recommend to you read other books of this genre for inspiration and knowledge of the operation of the bureaucracy. Many of you intend to be bureaucrats, and if you have to be bureaucrats, you have to be bureaucrats with a purpose for service above self. I will narrate a story which will give you an ethical lesson. This is the story of another civil servant way back, perhaps in the 1930s or the early 40s, when he would have to make long tours to the rural areas to understand the operation of the bureaucracy and the government in rural areas. And he would take with him 2 sets of candles. He would take one set provided by his office, and he would take another set provided by his dear wife from home. And in the evening hours, when the tent would be pitched, and he would have Petromax light, and invariably, if it would go off, he would have to light his candles. But he was a man of ethics, and this lesson is about ethics. When he had a file related to his functioning as a civil servant, he would light the candle provided by his office, and he would work late hours using that official candle. And then when he would have to write his personal diary and letters to his dear wife and children, he would put the official candle off because it was government expenditure, and he would put on the candle that his dear wife had given him. I hope the message that I've given you is clear. Take this lesson that I have given you, and you will do well in life. Above everything else, be good human beings, be examples, be tolerant and selfless, respect others, and contribute towards the making of a better place. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yes,
I thought it would be a longer program, but I have made my notes only for 3 pages, which I hope will be an inspiration to your young students.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir. Sir, thank you so much for this interaction.
Do you want any questions and answers from them, if possible?
If the students, if you have any questions, you can surely ask, because this is an opportunity you do not want to miss.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is that the close of the meeting?
Yes, sir. We now tend to conclude the inauguration. Then the orientation, the rest of the programs will follow after this, sir.
Right.
Okay. Sir, we are really grateful that, you had taken up your time and, has addressed our newly admitted students. Students, I know you all are very, very much innovative, like motivated by by our Professor Syiemlieh sir's words and encouraged by his, lecture. And we hope that, whatever he has said, you do take in your heart and do prepare, because these 3 years of your life will be very crucial and will pave the way for your future career. Sir, we are indeed honored that you had addressed our newly students, and we hope that in time you will be interacting with the students and shall be motivating them, giving them your inputs in time to time. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank our Honorable Chancellor, sir. As I said already in the beginning, it is his brainchild, and we hope that such innovation and the facilities that we are trying to provide to the students. I know we are not been able to provide it during this time, but once the university opens, the contact classes starts. We hope that you will be equally benefited by the library facility, by the faculties that we have, the interactions that we have, and we hope that with the experts that we bring in, you will be really benefited. I'm also thankful to the whole administration of University of Science and Technology Meghalaya, because sir, this course we are taking extra care, because we hope that from the the first batch is coming out in 2022. So we hope that we do see some very good students cracking up the UPSC and other civil service examination, and our whole administration is doing their best to provide the best. Also to the faculty members, because they are taking classes, they're taking the pain of virtual classes, all the online staff, they're doing the research, and also they are interacting, and from today onwards they will be doing a one-to-one interaction with the students also. And students, we hope that these 3 years of your stay in the University of Science and Technology Meghalaya, we will be able to provide you a way to enrich your to enrich your dreams, and also a way to really make your dreams a reality. Sir, we would now like to take your leave. And dear students,
May I say a few words?
Yes, absolutely, sir.
I'm very the virtual online classes are something I find rather difficult, because I don't interact fully with the students, and again, reading a text rather than delivering the lecture was another difficult thing for me today. But I encourage all the young students of your university, and particularly the second group of the course on administration and governance.
Sir, we have a question from one of our students. Actually, this is a question I think all the newly admitted students are asking, that what should be the driving force behind a civil servant, and his duty to the state or his country, to be the first, what should be the driving force behind a civil service or a civil servant, a person who is into the service, sir, so that they can also prepare themselves.
Hello.
Sir, can you hear us?
There's a
I think there's a network issue. There's a network issue. But then in the due course of time, we hope that the students are also benefited. Sir, with this, we do take your leave. And students, we shall be resuming the orientation program at 1 p.m. The departmental orientation program. I think the link for the orientation meet for the second phase is shared with you, and we hope to see you there. Sir, we hope to see you very soon in our campus, interacting with the students.
Yes, I hope to come to your campus and to meet students in a normal setting.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good day, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good day, sir. Good day.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.